and welcome to Free for All Friday. You know how the song goes. It's Friday, then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. Well, it is Free for All Friday right here on Detroit Lions on the Proud. Yo, home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. You know how we do it on Fridays. We get you ready for the game. Let's bring in the panel. First off, we got my man, LNU stablemate, Mike Kimber from Chat Sports. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
And then we got the co-creator of Detroit Lions on the Proud. It's the maniac himself. Tim, what's going on, brother?
I'm a little mad at last week's game, but I'm all right though.
All right, and then of course, y'all know who he is. I know she is. The royalty is going in, and the horns are Queen of the Proud, Valerie Bordeaux. How you doing, Queen?
I am super geeked for this game. I am
super
absolutely
geeked for this game. Super geek for an ass whooping. All right, let's go ahead and welcome everybody in the chat. Dan Spanos, good morning. Michael Huck, man, Mr. Reliable. I had a great time sitting with you at the game last week, man. My guy, John Kapler's in the building. Raw Detroit, you know what I'm saying? 757 repping 313. Good morning. Let's just go ahead and get into it, man, because you know we got to talk about it. All right. First up, what was the most disappointing thing about the loss to the Panthers? Maniac Tim, what do you, because you had some frustration coming out the gate.
Okay.
So what you got?
Our defensive line looks like a bunch of wet paper bags. I mean, come on. They were so easily ran through. I mean, and then good old Val's iffy, man. He was as slow as could be.
No, honey. Honey, because the stats don't lie. Iffy was the only one that did anything back there. Let's talk about Okuda for a minute, shall we?
Yeah.
Talk about slow.
I just did that to get a reaction.
Tim pulling a Michael Jackson. Got to be starting something. But yeah, okay. Mike, what you got, man? What was your most disappointing thing about that game?
The fact that the Carolina Panthers had more points than we did when the game was over. That was really disappointing because it really hurt the playoffs. It did, man. Every other team we needed to lose besides the Green Bay Quackers. They lost.
Everybody
but
lost.
Really, this defense, my God.
Yeah,
run 40 yards, run 40 yards, run 40 yards. I don't know what. The lack of tackle. The defense, the whole disappointing. I don't even, to call it a defense is even, I can't even call that a defense. I don't know what we saw in that game Sunday.
All right. Before we get to Val, we got to bring him in, man. Welcome him to the show. It's my man. Shame. Don't love me like you do. My man, Luke G of Luke G's Field Review. What's going on, my guy?
What's going on, family, man? Look, we're upon the new year. I'm excited to tell 2022 goodbye.
For real.
You know, hope everybody is having a good time thus far today.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll come back to you, Luke. Queen, what was the most disappointing part of the loss to the Panthers?
The lame ass excuses the team gave for losing the game afterwards. Oh, the cold. Oh, please bite my ass. Please. You live in fucking Michigan, like the tundra.
That's
Come
true.
on.
I don't think it was the cold. They were talking about the field conditions, and that's a little different. That's a little different.
It is not.
Let me say what I got to say before you get to your overly obnoxious take on this, Val.
Curt coming in hot today.
Coming in a little bit. Yeah, the field turf because they have a field turf like we have here in Ford Field and inside, right? That surface is different when you freeze it, and there's nothing underneath it but concrete. So you put a hard frozen plastic surface on top of concrete. That's different. Now I will say this. They had to go out there and play the game because I'm not giving them a pass for not playing hard. I understand what they're saying, but I'm not giving them a pass because it's different. You playing on concrete, that's like playing on the old AstroTurf. Players complain about that for years. They hated playing on that stuff. That's why they made the field turf is supposed to be more absorbent to falls, and it's supposed to be more grass-like. But when you freeze plastic, we know it's hard. It's hard as crap. So you freeze plastic on top of concrete. That's not a good recipe. But you have to go out and play the game. The Panthers didn't have a problem with it, so the Lions can't have they didn't have a problem with it. I hear what you're saying. Is you can't complain because both teams were playing on the same surface. But
you made my point, because Carolina, of all teams, doesn't deal with this kind of shit on a normal basis.
That is totally correct, because it's usually about 60 degrees. I'm just saying that you don't discredit them saying that the field was hard, because it was. The field was terrible. It was
Carolina wasn't complaining about their own field, and they should have more right to do so than the Lions did.
I don't know about that. When you can go out and practice on it, because it was cold a couple days before, and then go out and practice on that hard surface. There's a difference between the Lions. They weren't allowed to go on the surface over at Baker.
That was like the lamest excuse.
But
it still was the lamest excuse.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I can't discredit it. Period. See, the thing is to say it's lame. Well, you ain't never played on the surface like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I get what you're saying. Now it was lame because you have both teams playing on the same surface. And during this time of year, it's usually about 60 degrees in Charlotte for games. I will say this: it was cold out there. It was cold. It was. Woo, sweet Jesus! I ain't been that cold in a long time. I ain't been that cold since was in the Army, set out in the field. Or over in Afghanistan cold. So we
were bringing up that point too. We're like, yeah, Curt done forgot about Detroit cold.
He's probably the reason it was cold, because he's from Detroit.
Yeah, so see, being from growing up in Flint, like I haven't lived in Flint since '90, so I've lived more than my adult life in the South. I can't lie to you. I've lived since probably about '90 in the South or overseas. So.
I was in the chat like, look at them all bundled up like they cold or something.
It was cold out that thing. It was like, because you got the wind chill factor had it about 17 degrees. So it was cold. It was cold out there at kickoff. It was like 27 degrees and like 16, 17 with the wind chill factor. But with all that being said, the most disappointing part for me was just like the lack of effort. It was like, and it was worse in person. I'm like, I drove 2 hours for this shit.
Tackling was brutal, man.
Oh, yeah.
To watch these guys running through the middle of a defense, man, that was terrible. They had a good game plan, and we didn't make any adjustments. We played single high safety when they were running, where they were just running the ball. I don't know what that was. There was no adjustments, and it was a terrible effort. And you made yourself one-dimensional by getting. And that, I would say this. And that fumble, because we were going to go down and take the lead 14-7 and fumble on that 9-yard line, that was the momentum swing, and it never went back. It never changed back to the Lions. What you got, Luke G? What was your most disappointing thing about the loss to Carolina?
I feel like this question would have been easier if we asked what was
the favorite thing?
the favorite thing. I mean, I put it this way. In all honesty, the most disappointing thing, y'all listed a lot of them, but to me, it was the fans' reaction after the loss. I do not get these ups and downs and stuff. Like, everybody instantly wanted to just toss Aaron Glenn down the drain. Oh, get rid of him. He's got to go. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is the same defense that you saw when they was 1-6. The difference was they were playing a little bit better, and they were still bad while playing a little bit better. And the fans were shocked when people like me and Mike come on and start saying stuff like, there are no dogs on this defense. There are no perennial players on this defense that y'all can name. Don't tell me it's Aiden Hutchinson. That's BS. Everything about the league is telling him.
We'll disagree on that one, but go ahead.
You think Aiden Hutchinson is a dog?
I believe he has a high motor and he plays hard.
But that ain't the question. The question is, do you believe Aiden Hutchinson is a dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and that's my opinion. I don't want to hear that. That's my opinion. You
No,
asked me,
listen,
right?
listen.
That's my
I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. I'm asking. If you believe that Aiden Hutchinson is a dog, right?
That's
If
my
you-
opinion, and I'm allowed to have that, right?
Yeah, but if you believe he's a dog, what I'm saying is, if you
I
believe,
don't need you to tell me why he's not a dog. Just let me believe that he's a dog.
no. Listen. If you believe he's a dog, then you get that. You get that. You believe that he's a dog.
Uh-huh.
But I can tell you right now that his peers don't agree with that.
Okay.
His peers don't agree with that, and the tape don't agree with that. And that's cool if you believe that he is. I get it. But the reality is this: when you look at all these games this year, you can easily say, minus the New England game, you can easily say they were lost because of defense. Easily. And that when you look at those games and you say, okay, hey, these games were directly contribute to our defense not stopping, that's the problem. I don't understand why fans don't want to admit this and why they have this
terrible.
Right, but they don't. But they don't want to. They'll say that the defense is terrible, but they won't say that. Hey, it's a result of your general manager not addressing an issue that's been a few years old.
I will say this. I would say we definitely. I would say that we have some. We don't have any superstars on each level.
Oh no! Wait. If when you say a person is a dog, that's a superstar. You can't differentiate.
You can't tell me what my definition of a superstar and what my definition of a dog is. You can't.
But a superstar is a dog.
What my definition is. You asked me if I thought he was a dog. Yes, a dog. A lot of players are dogs and they're not superstars. You can't say that. Because
so wait, hold on. You tell me. So tell me what's the difference between a dog and a superstar? Because I want to know. I'm curious.
As a player who plays aggressively, there's plenty of dogs in the league that's not superstars. They don't have the stats to be superstars.
Okay, but who all agrees that was Aiden Hutchinson worth the second overall pick? I mean,
I think that was the right pick for the Lions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Compared to what else was out there, yeah, Aiden Hutchinson was the pick.
He has.
This was a little lackluster of a draft and all around.
Yeah, I mean,
I felt like there were other options that could have been explored. Like we could have traded that pick. I felt like,
But you're saying what your opinion is. I get what you're saying. Yeah, but I think he was the right pick for Detroit. Is that not right?
No, that's not. That's your opinion that you believe that he's the right pick for Detroit. Well, that's your opinion.
I said the same thing, so it's not
right. But that's their opinion too. So I'm not knocking their opinion if they believe that he was the right pick for Detroit. My view of picks are based in a 3-year window. So I want to see what happens in a 3-year window. So like even when I looked at Okuda, when we took him 3rd overall, I knew that he was not going to be the pick within the 3-year window. And what happened was when he started off with a slow start, fans made excuses for him and said, well, he got his first career start against Devontae Adams and so forth and so on. And then this year, I gave him credit when he played well. He played much better than I thought, but he still is who I thought he was. And that pick is proven that it is not the right pick for Detroit. Again, the opinion part of it, we can't debate or argue that part of it. But what I'm saying is in the 3-year window, we can come back and talk about it. And then if I'm wrong, I'll be like, sure, I'm wrong. No issue about it. Now, when I look at picks that I felt like was a right pick for Detroit, because I'm looking at that 3-year window and beyond, Penei Sewell was the right pick for Detroit because I can see him being here for a long time. Like I want to get him a 2nd and a 3rd contract. I don't know if the hometown guy makes it to that 2nd to 3rd contract, and they may be forced to do it. But for me, just me looking at it, I don't see a dog. I don't. I see a guy who is still obviously going through the growing pains. But every time I see a big game show, I'm not seeing him show up. That's just an observation I made.
Okay. I feel you.
He's still a rookie yet, though. I mean, he hasn't really. So give him a break for a little bit. I'll give him a break.
We're still within your 3-year window, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he's saying. And I can agree with Luke where I'm saying that the juries are still kind of out for me too, because I got to see what he develops into.
And that's going to depend on his effort and the coaching as well too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
it is what it is.
It was a disappointing to see the holes that were just getting like the open holes in the rushing game, and just to see them guys just like running without being touched. They weren't setting the edge at all. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this defense that was playing well against the run?
There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of Detroit.
The only 100-yard, it was two, and doing the uptick in play, like I said, like what was that when we went from 6 to 1, from 1 and 6 to 7 and 7. We only had 2 games where we gave up 100 yards rushing, and that was to the Buffalo Bills and to Chicago. Everyone else was held under 100 yards, and I mean substantially under 100 yards. And to see that happen, I was like, "What in the hell?" They had like 250 yards in the first half. I'm sitting there watching this thing like, "What the hell?" Like,
so what? Yeah.
It was worse in person.
I think it was the same issues though. Like I feel like those other teams. I had made those comments before. I got yelled at for making those comments at the wins and stuff, saying like, "Oh, that's you being ridiculous and stuff." And I said, "Look, I'm just telling you. Like, I think if the Jets had Breece Hall, they would have ran it down our throats too. And I think that the team that we played in that window really wasn't trying to run the ball. They were passing the ball, which played into our strength. I just think when we got to the Packers were like, F this, we're going to keep this ball on the ground till they force us to throw it. And the sad part is when they forced them to throw it, they still completed like a 60-yard pass, so it didn't matter. So it was like
the Giants tried to run the ball. The Giants tried to run the ball a lot. They tried to stuff Saquon Barkley down our throat, and we sent his ass back to the sideline.
I don't think the Giants really committed to running the ball.
Oh, come on, man. They handed the ball to Barkley the whole man. What are you talking about?
How many touches do you think Barkley had that game?
Barkley had to have what? He had to have at least 20 touches in that game. And I thought you said touches. You ain't talking about carries. That's you said touches. So the difference between touches and carries.
No. Listen, when we talking about running the ball, it's all carries. When we talking about running the ball, it's all carries. We're not talking touches, right? So touches would imply that they're passing the ball and running it. No, I'm talking running the ball. I don't believe that the Giants tried to commit to running the ball. I think that they tried. I think that I feel like he may have had 15, 16 carries, maybe.
Saquon Barkley had 15 carries for 22 yards.
See what I'm saying? I don't think they committed to running the ball. If you look at what the Panthers did, they had 43 total carries, and if you remove the design runs for the quarterback out, it still was well over 30 something carries to their 22 something passes.
They had 26 carries, but they had to be one dimensional. Once the game was getting out of hand, they couldn't keep running the ball. They were down too many points. So right. But
what I'm saying is early on in that game, they was not committed to running the ball. What they were doing was they were doing a lot of passing, which played into our hands and which helped us get up on them quickly. And when I looked at the Panthers said, after that, we're not going to do none of that. They came out first play, I think 30 damn yards. And the second play was like 40 yards.
But their runs were working off the bat.
That's what I'm saying. But even when they had tackles for loss and they had, when we got a few stops here and there on some of those runs, they came right back. I think one of the plays was like a 3rd and 17. They came back after getting a penalty and a stop on the play and ran that thing again and picked up 20 yards. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, so they never wavered from it.
Terrible in that game.
But it's been that way all year. I honestly believe that the defense has been bad since Patricia, and it's still bad under, with Dan Campbell. And it's because we really didn't do anything to address it. And I hate when people say, well, he took 10 of his 15 picks for the defense, but you know what? So did Quinn. So it doesn't matter. They have to be able to perform at a level that you can respect. And I don't see us getting those players doing that now.
Okay, well, let's move on. We didn't beat this. We didn't beat this.
Yeah, we beat this to the horse. And the chat wants us to move on too. I think. Yeah.
All right. So how confident are you guys that they can get to 9-8? Beat the Packers, beat the Bears. Last 2 games. What you got, Mike?
I think it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult, but I hope they can do it. I'm confident, like by 51%. So it's a waiver pick here, because how many times have we seen the last game of the year where you think you're gonna win Matt Flynn and then it doesn't happen? How many times we've seen that? Now I'm hoping it's different. Hope we go over there and we slaughter the Packers, but I'm confident
it's gonna I think that game is going to depend on what the Packers do this week. To be honest with you,
I hope they get their butts whooped.
Yeah.
Way.
All right, what you got, Val?
What was the question again?
How confident you are the Lions can win these last 2 games?
Probably about 75-80%. I'm pretty sure they'll beat Green Bay, depending on what happens Sunday with how Green Bay faces Minnesota. Because if Minnesota knocks Green Bay out of playoff contention, Green Bay won't show up with anybody on the last week. Yeah. So the Lions will, and even if they did, the Lions kicked their ass last year in the same position. So I don't see that being a contention. The Bears, and there's a lot of factors involved in this one. So, the Lions are more advantageous on paper and a lot of other things, but we'll see. We'll see what actually happens on Sunday.
All right, I got you. All right, Luke, what you got, man? How confident do you the Lions can win these last 2 games?
I'm with Val. I think they should win these games, and they usually do play up to their division opponents. Like they played down to the Panthers, which I felt like was one of the biggest disappointments. But they usually play up to their division opponents, and I think that they'll beat the Bears, and I think they'll beat the Packers. And I don't care if the Packers win or lose versus the Vikings. I just think the Lions should go in and win.
Yeah. So screw all the other mathematics. Win out, and then you do what you need to do to handle your business. I got you, Luke. All right, Mike. I'm sorry, Tim. What you got, Maniac Tim?
Okay, first of all, Aaron Rodgers hates to lose to us. So whether or not they lose this week, Green Bay is going to try to beat us because they had egg on their face big time. Now, I'm saying maybe 75% that I'm thinking they can win out, but like I say. You can't come out flat like they did. You gotta come out with your A game and just go ahead and release a maniac and release your A game in order to do it. Because at Lambeau Field, what the heck? You got to contend with the field conditions, the crowd, and the refs. But you got to take matters into your own hands and just go ahead and knock that quarterback to the ground and give him a good reminder on how we beat him last time and show that we own him.
Trust me, Justin Fields ain't worried about getting knocked to the ground at all.
No, he's talking about Aaron Rodgers. He's talking about
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers. Let's get
Aaron Rodgers, just kill that sucker. Yeah.
I hate that.
And with I'll tell you what, I do really hope that Justin Fields goes ahead and gets the ball knocked out of his hand, gets sacked, and go ahead and get game
He ain't worried about none of that.
We may not be worried, but I'm just hoping that
we don't get to that game here in a minute.
I'm just hoping that we just go ahead and
know how important
make him worried.
You know how important this game is to Proud Nation? Because we got Coach Mike and LL in the chat.
Oh, tell him to hop on. Tell him to hop on.
Yeah, hop on, guys. You got the link. Hop on in. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's just
for me, how confident I am, I would say about 80%. 80%. 80. You give me around 80%. Handle your business. I would say this, and I have to agree with Dan Campbell, and I agree with some other people. I think if that was a humbling experience last week, I think sometimes you need to be taken down a little bit, and they got their ass handed to them, and they got taken down a little bit. And that hopefully that can light the fire into them to win the next 2 games. Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping. That we were playing good, we were on a roll, man. We doing our thing, we like butter, baby, and you got kicked in the teeth to bring your ass back down to earth. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that little bit of humbling to get yourself back into where you need to be. What you got?
Now, do you think that actually that's what happened with Carolina, because they got a humbling the week before?
The Carolina did?
Yeah, because the way they lost to their running game was shut down. So I think that this was partly a
they may
reaction
have-
game, and unfortunately, Detroit was the
very well could be that their coach Steve Wilkes he's a tough coach, and he probably was on their ass after that last game, after Carolina's last game. So when they came to the game versus Detroit, they were putting up they were going to put up a better effort, and we just came in there lackluster. We came in there, we weren't ready.
We went ahead and did exactly what I said.
Laid the egg.
I thought this game was worse than the game we had against New England. Like I thought this was 10 times worse than that game we had against New England because of how we lost. I've always been taught that if I can run the ball down your throat and you know it's coming and I can just keep doing it like that, that's like getting on.
That's a bad feeling. And I think that was one of the frustrations with Bugs in that penalty. I think he was just kind of getting frustrated, like, God damn it, we can't stop nobody. He just threw a boy to the ground, like, shit, just stop it.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. Let's go to the comments, to the chat, Val, to see what they got to say. We haven't talked to them all day.
Coach Mike said that he's not at home or he would join us, but so he does say though that even though I'm one Pride Nation, I'm starting Justin Fields in my fantasy championship.
Yep.
Big T Hutchinson gets 2 sacks on Justin Fields. Tribe, who is new to Proud Nation, welcome. Matthew Stafford will always have the last laugh until the end of time.
Okay.
Dan Spano says, "Are you running errands for Mike for Curt?"
Yeah, free for all Friday. I don't run errands on Fridays unless I got yeah. But the other days in the premieres, yes.
Yeah, we have Coach Mike at LL running errands for us today.
Definitely. That I would say that was a kick in the teeth. All right, so let's get back on track, man. How can the Lions get their running game back on track versus Chicago? Luke, what you got?
Just run a damn ball. Like You've been
hanging around Mike too damn long. We didn't have Mike on the show too damn time.
No, me. I'm the one that says run the damn ball.
Like this is like the third week where I have been very disappointed in Ben Johnson's play calling, and it's because we have been too centered around passing the game to start the game off. Just run the damn ball. I had to do this last year, and I'm like, listen, enough with this damn Justin Jackson running stuff. He don't get no carries. He don't get no carries unless it's do or die. And he ain't got no. It needs to be completely just Swift and Williams, and preferably you need to pick out who's going to be the bell cow. Somebody needs to just be the bell cow, and the other one needs to be the recipient to come in and be the relief. But no, just run the ball. I'm sick of this. Just run the ball. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it confusing. Just do it. Just Nike it up. Do it. Just do it.
Nike it up.
Okay. For me, I think that I don't know where the creativity in the run game went with the zone schemes and how they were pulling people. They should stop doing that. They was just trying to learn the ball, line the ball up and run. I'm like, wait a minute. The creativity was what was getting you the plays in the run game, and you're just not doing that anymore. So I'm like, what the hell is this crap? I think sometimes you need to use those things that got you to the success in the running game, where we were top 5 in running, and now we're at 16. So we need to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? Get the creativity back in the run game, and then you can play action and all that good stuff like that. And then you can take shots down the field and stuff like that, because that's going to help. That the establishing and run is going to help our pass game 100%. But that's me. I'm like, get the creativity back in the run game. What you got, Mike?
They got to hand the ball off to a running back. That's what Jared Goff got to do for us to run. It's really important.
Got to be one asshole. Well, this time it's 2.
It's so true, though.
This run defense is trash for the Bears. They're one of the worst in the NFL. Damn it. If you can't run against these guys, you've lost it. Run the foot and stop going around the edges and all this BS. Just run down the middle. I'm tired of this just hand the damn ball off and go forward. Start from quarter 1, and then guess what? In quarter 4, it'll open up a little bit more. But just like Luke said, you actually got to do it. They just got away from it. For the last couple weeks, they have gotten away from it. And you're like, stop getting away from it. Run the football. You have to do this.
I think they've been trying to run it straight, and that hasn't been working. They've been stopping Jamal Williams and Swift right there in the backfield. So running straight is not working.
They're not doing like they were running before in the first half, where half of the snaps are runs. Now it's just like a quarter. That's why it's not working out. You have to beat them up in the first couple of quarters, and it'll open it up a little bit later.
Yep. We ain't had a game yet where we can say that we haven't had a game where the split of run to pass ratio was significantly higher on the run end. Like the game that the Panthers had where they got 43 rushing attempts to like I think 22 or 25 passing attempts. Mm-hmm. Like we need a game like that, and we've had games where our running backs were getting off, but we just go away from it.
That's true. Okay. All right. What's that, Queen?
I always say every single week, run the damn ball. And this is going to be very critical because, you have one of the major stats that the Lions have to game plan for is watching out for one of the rookies on the Bears defense, which is the cornerback Kyler Gordon, who has intercepted both Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen in back-to-back weeks with 3 picks and 6 passes defended. So this is a run the fucking ball down their throats game in order for the Lions.
I feel you. All right, what you got, Maniac Tim?
Bring back the run and shoot.
Okay.
Damn, Tim, you went all day.
Put the weed down and ask.
Tim went back to like. Tim was like, we going all the way back.
Well, okay. All right. Okay. In the argument, all right, on that, what system did we have when we won our last playoff game, our only playoff game? What system was it?
The run and shoot is obsolete, though.
It's obsolete. That's obsolete.
Don't do them like that, Curt.
Like that's like Tecmo. That's like Tecmo.
That ain't gonna work, brother. I love you, but that ain't good. Nah, bro. I can't let you put yourself out there like that. I won't do it. I won't finish it.
I mean, that was us a joke.
I feel you though.
Okay.
But you know what though?
But yeah, creativity in the running game and stuff that would be good because I see what you're saying when Jamal just goes ahead and runs up the middle, they stop him too much. Mm-hmm. So if you get too predictable in what you're doing and just keep on running up the middle, they're going to stack that middle.
Then you play action.
Yeah, you got to get some. You got to get some zone schemes in there. You got to get some guys pulling. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got to open up some holes. This is a little bit more creative. How they were getting those holes earlier in the season with those chunk run plays, where they were had some creativity. They were pulling some guys, running the zone scheme. They were doing a little bit different. They weren't just trying to run it, stack your guys up against theirs and run the ball. And I think that they got away from that, and that was hurt the run game.
Plus, we ran a lot of trap plays too that allow for people to kick people out for them to pick a hole. So it's just, I feel like, I don't know. Like I said, this is Ben Johnson. I love him, but he's had some moments where I'm like,
he's doing. I think LL said it, and I was like, I couldn't argue with him. He was like, I think Ben Johnson, his name was starting to get out there. He started auditioning for other teams, and he got away from. He started auditioning for his creativity in the pass game. He got creativity in the run game. All right.
If that's the case, man, that's bad, man. Good for him, but that's bad for us.
What do they say to the comments?
Coach Mike says that. Wait, why is it not showing?
There it is.
Hold on. I think we're clicking the button at the same time.
I'm not. My hands off.
I don't know why it's not. Well, let me try it again one more time. Let me see.
There it is.
Okay, it's not showing for me, but it's. Oh, there we go. My computer's slow. That's my bad. Okay, there hasn't been any run lanes early in the game, and Ben Johnson's totally abandoned the run. I don't know if he's abandoned the run. It just, he did abandon the run quite a bit, and he shouldn't. Lady Lionor from Lioness Slayer. We haven't been very effective running lately. It's late in the season, and the tread seems to be wearing down Jamal's tires. Swift needs to step up. Swift ain't stepping up. That's the problem. That's one of the big problems in Ben Johnson being able to create the creativity and with the play calling, because
slower each game. Swift does.
He just keeps blah, 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 just dying on the field.
I feel like Swift be trying to make the big play too much sometimes. Sometimes I don't need the big play, and that's what Deuce Staley be on his head about. Like, I don't need the big play all the time. I just need you to make the play. Like, I see that too. I like the fact that he wants the home run hit. Like, I get it, like, because you see it all the time. But even in basketball, when you see the player who's trying to be the superstar, it don't always work out well for him. Like, yeah, you get the notoriety because you scored, but your team ain't doing anything. So you got the individual accolades, but your team ain't done nothing.
Here's my thing in basketball reference, man. Don't shoot the three or dunk the ball, man. Shoot it mid-range. Get your mid-range game is tight, man. You can win a whole bunch of games.
Facts.
Look at Sam Cassell was king of the mid-range. He won 2 rings shooting the ball like that out there in Houston. So king of the mid-range, baby. You just gotta be effective. That's all I want. Be effective in the run game. Well, what else they saying, Val? Or they done talking?
They're mostly talking about Swift, whether or not Swift is still playing injured or not.
He could be.
He could just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna play the rest of the year." Like Ragnar. Ragnar just says, "Screw it, I'm gonna practice one day a week and play in the game." He doing a Calvin Johnson this year. We know the foot's jacked up. We got to get on the good foot and get that thing fixed in the offseason. But he said, "Screw it, I'm gonna practice on Fridays and play in the game on Sunday." That's that Calvin Johnson thing. So it is what it is, man. He's grinding it out, and shout out to him, man. That's one of my favorite players. Frank Ragnar is one of my favorite players in the line.
Can I ask a question? Because I really need other opinions and views on this, because I'm confused as all get out. Why are we having a hard time getting J-Mo the ball? What? like,
you know what?
Why?
I kind of talked about this with somebody else too, and I'm like, I don't understand what's the problem with Goff's arm, because I saw him do it in LA. I saw him throw the ball down the field at Robert Woods and all those speed guys he had in LA, and I'm like, how in the hell he can't? Maybe it's this, he ain't see the guy that fucking fast. Maybe that's the problem, because even on the touchdown he caught, he had to stop. He was that wide. He had to stop and catch the ball because that's how fast he is. I think it's it got to be a timing issue where they haven't worked.
That's so funny about this Williams thing.
It takes a few games though. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Me and Luke were talking about it a couple days ago, and then people in the comment sections like, "No, they're doing it right." And then Dan Campbell came out and said, "We got to give Jameson Williams the football." You
got to give it to him. You got to learn how to get that dude. I say
he's a weapon.
He's got to learn how to throttle it down to kind of what do you call that, to slow down for Goff's arm, because he's just that damn fast where he could just run and he's going to outrun any pass. You know what I'm saying?
But the problem is that everyone assumes this guy is just a deep threat. That's
no,
he's not.
Yes.
He's not. Get him into the intermediate. Yes. Get him in a jet sweep. The guy is a playmaker.
Just give him the freaking ball.
Creator. He's a route tree god. That's what everyone just. Well, he just goes the deep route. That's not the case, though.
And that's the thing. Like when like even when you were saying, Curt, like he getting the ball down the field, I'm thinking to myself, like, we're not even calling quick slants for this dude. Like,
we can take a slant. Easy.
We're not calling wide receiver screens for him. We're not like, I could think of so many ways to get him the ball that it's not even funny, and I just don't understand how people are so ready. Like, they so ready to throw AG away, but we're not talking about the fact that, look, a guy that y'all traded up 20 spots for, you only give him a 3rd round pick. Because what I heard, y'all can't even find a way to get him the goddamn ball. I don't get it.
I know what it is. Val picked the phone up and called Ben Johnson and said, "I got a freaking bet. Your ass better not throw his ass the fucking ball." That is what she did. I understand. I know it. She put her white diamonds on and put her sunglasses on.
Look, I got my white diamonds right here. And I went right up to I'm like, no, are you going to bring out my inner white Medea if you put J-Mo on this field? No.
Because you already know. All right, let's get back into the questions. All right. Woo. I'm going to you. Oh, this one's going to you last, Val. All right, Maniac Tim. How can AG and company slow down Justin Fields?
Gang tackle.
And the number one rushing, and it's basically just much him. He's the reason he's the number one rushing offense in the league right now.
They just got to really fill up the box and just go ahead and not only put pressure, but just take them down. I mean, just really guard them tight.
Okay. All right. What you got, Mike?
How about we force him to pass the football? Let's take our safety and put him up there. I'm not too worried about their 32nd ranked pass offense, but I am worried about their number one ranked run offense. Okay, so bring your guys and play for the run the whole way and have a spy for Justin Fields.
Yep.
There we go. Let's not do this. Well, we're going to go ahead and move our safeties back, and maybe he'll do a deep pass. No, man. Like, we ain't playing that game on Sunday. Go ahead and do what you haven't done, AG. It is our Achilles heel with the mobile quarterback. Let's not have that happen on Sunday, him run for 300 yards because he can. So move our safeties up and force them to pass the football.
Now, I will say this. One of the funniest things I've seen was a tweet by the Bears and a clap back by a Lions fan. It was absolutely. Oh,
I gotta hear this because I haven't seen this. This will be an initial reaction for me.
They said the Bears tweeted out. This was happened the last time the Bears played the Lions, and it was the Justin Fields long touchdown run. And the next tweet was, well, yeah, that happened, but then this happened. It was the pick six by Okuda for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, I did see that on Twitter. Yes, I did see that on Twitter.
I was like, yeah, you might want to talk. I mean, here's my thing. Okay, I get he did that, but y'all didn't win the game. How y'all boasting about some shit y'all didn't win? Okay, but I agree with you 100%. Set the edge, keep him contained in the pocket, and make him throw the damn ball. You know what I'm saying?
The Bears fans boast for shit just like the Lions fans boast for shit when they don't win.
Yeah. So, but that was the official Bears account that tweeted that out. So
yeah, I know the Bears account has been failing miserably in social media.
But to slow him down, you got to make him a passer. You have to make him pass the ball. You got Chase Claypool is already hurt. The guy you need to worry about for me on the offense in the passing game is Cole Kmet. That's the guy you got to worry about. We lost track of that guy twice in the previous game, and he scored 2 nice touchdowns. So keep control, make Justin Fields throw the ball, and make him throw the ball to somebody other than Cole Kmet. What you got, Luke G?
I just can't believe nobody said this. This is the most logical answer that there is. It's the only answer there is. Okay. He needs more problems. We all need more problems. You know how they need more cowbell? We need more problems. Just unleash James Houston. That's it. That's all he gonna do. That's it. Just you need more problems. Give him more problems. He need more problems. In fact, I didn't make that a t-shirt. He need more problems. Give him more problems. Because in my opinion, the last time they played him, you really didn't have like this comprehensive pass rush that was getting after them. Now they're going to come back with a team that has Romeo Core. They're going to come back with a team that now is going to be able to kick people inside. You'll be able to move Pascal inside with Aleem McNeil and put the problem out there with Aiden Hutchinson. But whatever you do, you need to put more problems out there. And if problem is not out there, I don't know what else you can say. Even in that loss to the Panthers, I'm thinking, God, he got the quarterback moving. God, he is. Now, that's real pressure. Like, they were resorting to negative plays. And I just give him more problems. That's all I want. Just unleash James Houston and give him more problems.
More money, more problems. Okay.
That's good.
All right, Val, what you got? Because this is your team. How can AG slow down your number one rush game in the NFL?
Well, Justin Fields himself has already clearly stated he's planning to bring the rush. Okay. So that is clear. But I wouldn't count out the past game in this as well, because you mentioned Claypool, and there's another name nobody's brought up as well. Both are planning to make a potential return. That's a game day decision, which is St. Brown's brother, Equinemius.
Not scared of him. Okay, who's the other guy?
Damn, Curt just straight killed that man. Not scared of him.
Okay,
I love
the
that
other
one.
guy? Who's the other guy? Who's the other
No,
guy?
that's it. Equinemius and Chase. Now, Chase Claypool himself has said that he plans to show people what he's really got. So don't turn that shit out. I don't like Claypool myself. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't.
Unless you're St. Brown, that's a funny thing.
I'm only reporting to you what the Bears side is saying. This is not my personal opinion. I'm giving you what the Bears think.
The only thing that makes you relevant is
Kurt's laughing. Kurt's laughing.
With the St. Brown
Curt is a honey badger today.
The St. Brown that matters is in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
But are you going to be laughing if St. Brown actually does something in this game and whoops your ass?
We win. We gonna win this game.
Who's throwing the ball, man? Come on.
Justin
man.
Fields can throw him the ball.
Yeah, about 2 yards down the field.
Man,
yeah.
Damn.
They average 134 yards passing a game.
I'm not worried about the passing game.
Butt cheeks beyond butt cheeks.
That's with them guys out.
Man,
So
doesn't
their
matter what
game
they're in.
has suffered because of that.
That's wet butt cheeks in a thong. That's,
I can't let y'all do Bill
You know
like
what?
this.
All I got to say is this. Curt talked his smack last week about how, and we all did, about how much the Lions were going to put a stomping on the Panthers. Look what happened. Look what fucking happened. Keep talking your talk. Keep walking your walk. But the thing is the Ford Field is not prepared because they're not prepared for the Queen of the Prowl coming in with her white diamonds affecting this game. So therefore,
the maniac's going to encounter.
I'm gonna have to back Vail up on this one because I just can't let Vail just sit here and take this. Okay, now she don't put the white diamonds out and everything, but I gotta back her up on this because everybody knows that they're gonna be able to do something because they got Tim Boyle's flag on the play. I'm just bullshitting. I'm sorry, I kind of lined that one up pretty good. Yeah, Tim Boyle, flag on the play.
Flag on the play, Tim Boyle. Okay, but you know what though? I will say this. I mean, they're in the league for a reason. They are on 53-man rosters for a reason. Do I believe in Equinemius St. Brown? I believe he's a player. Do I believe he'll make a difference? Not sure. I can't say that he will. I can't say that he won't.
What?
So you're saying Amon St. Brown? Amon St. Brown is a superstar, but his brother's a bust. Okay.
Where would he be on our depth chart? Would he even be on the roster?
Practice squad, third string practice squad. He needed waterboard to the practice squad.
You talking about Equinemius? He wouldn't even.
Most of the players on the Lions defense are third string in any other team. What are you talking about?
We're talking about wide receivers.
Yeah,
You're talking about
wide
receivers.
Well, I don't.
But you say about
You want to talk smack because you finally got a wide receiver since Calvin Johnson.
No, I'm just saying, but like whose price he taking? He's not taking J-Mo. He's not taking Chart. He's not taking St. Brown. He's not taking Randall.
You got a bench warmer wide receiver, and you're talking smack. Okay.
No. What I'm saying is even if you took the bench warmer receiver off, right? Like if you take him off, he wouldn't start over Khalif Raymond. Nope. Like we have at least 4 or 5 in our entire roster of receivers. He would be a starter on this team at all.
Equinemius would not be a starter on the Lions. It would not. There's no way.
Yeah,
nobody's a starter on the Lions.
He would be a second team guy.
I know you're not talking about our wide receiver core versus the Bears wide receiver core.
Our wide receiver core is ridiculous, actually.
I've watched the Lions wide receiver. I've I have watched the Lions wide receiver core go, where's the ball? Oops, Ole! Oops, Ole!
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me see this. Let me see. Go ahead.
Drugs.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
DJ
see.
Shark, drop.
Big pass.
Let's see. Lions passing offense is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in the league. Bears is 32nd. I'm just saying. Okay, now it's time for us to get into the we didn't
with all new rookies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, Chase Claypool is not a rookie.
No. Well, I know, but he just got recently signed.
St. Brown is not a rookie.
Yeah, he's not a rookie.
He's been injured all year.
Your Versailles is a rookie.
The ones that have actually been playing in those stats are rookies.
Mooney is not a rookie. Well, he's on IR now, so.
Yeah, he was on IR for a long time. A lot of those stats are all based on rookie stats because a lot of the vets were on IR.
Okay.
You know it's bad when I can watch the 33rd man or the 33rd team or whatever it's called, where it's the St. Brown brothers talking, and even you got Ahmed Rod clowning him. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna do what?" He's like, "What I have from I had 119. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do 200 this game. Yeah, like he was trolling him the whole time. Like I'm not saying that his brother don't got talent, but the Packers needed receivers and said bye.
But to be honest with you, when I looked at the St. Brown brothers, it was clear cut that the youngest one, Amara was going to be the best one out of the group. Period. Point blank. He was the best out of the three brothers. He was the best one.
Yep.
He was the best one. It wasn't even close. All right, so let's get into the score predictions now, because you gotta do that before we get out of here. Who wins and what's the score on Sunday? You know what? I'm gonna let Val go first because it's her Bears versus her other team, the second team, the adopted team, the Lions, because of family and the marriage and stuff like that. So what you got, Val? What's the score? Who wins and what's the score?
I want to talk a lot of shit, but I think that this game is actually going to be close. Okay. It is going to be. The last game was close. I mean, the Lions, beat them by 1. So I'm going to go with 27-24, and I'm not confident in my own team, so I'm going with the Lions.
Okay, 27-24 Lions. Maniac Tim, what you got?
42-38 Lions.
42-38 Lions. Okay. What you got, Mike?
I actually don't think it's going to be a close game. I think the Lions got embarrassed last week. I think they're going to come out on fire, pissed off and angry. I think Ford Field's going to be extremely loud. It's the last game of the year. Try and get into the playoffs. I think they win 36-23, but I'd like to do a Tim score and say like 500-2.
What you got, Luke G?
He's mad.
What you got, Luke G? Who wins?
27-20 Lions.
27-20 Lions. I'm not bagging on my prediction. I said it yesterday. I'm gonna say it today. 40-14 Detroit. I think it's gonna be an absolute ass handling because they're gonna be pissed off and they're gonna go out there and throw the ball around. They're gonna go run. They're gonna put this thing. It's gonna be one of those. Remember the Titans. Leave no doubt.
Could be. I'm with you, man. I got that feeling. I'm right with you.
I may have to make the Monday game recap as extra special and pop on this one so Curt can laugh at me the entire time. But
I think they're embarrassed. I think the Lions players are really embarrassed from last week, and they're pissed off.
It's gonna be like that.
Yeah,
because they got so embarrassed, and
both teams got embarrassed as hell. So they're both
the Lions are. Well, Lions got more talent right now.
They do have more talent in certain areas. So it'll depend on who plays to their strengths.
Because the Bears have more people. They have the people with the experience and the know-how and the actual technical savvy to pour the Gatorade right. So let's go.
We have Bobby Boucher, damn it! We have Bobby Boucher.
The Bears defense, though, I'm not gonna lie. Even with Jaquan Brisker, which I think should have been a Lion, but that's another story. Since Roquan Smith is left, good grief, that defense has been struggling.
Yeah, the defense.
Jaquan Brisker's leading sacks for their team with 4.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But all right, but you know that we have fun. I know I've been picking with Val the whole day. I've been on one today because Val said she was gonna be on one, and damn it, I said I'm gonna be on one too. So damn it,
Hey, it's all good. You all know that I'm good for the trash talk. I don't take it personal.
Before we get to final thoughts, man, again, I got to give one again a special shout out to Dr. Detroit, man. He's gonna do the tribute to on the jumbotron to Jim, our beloved Jim Bordeaux. Is gonna do the tribute, his fandom tribute. Gonna have a picture up there, and that's very special. And to him to make sure that Val and the family could be in attendance, and along with Tim and his other childhood best friend, man. That's awesome, man. And shout out to Dr. Detroit, man, because that's one thing, man. I wish I could be in attendance for that, but of course I live so far away. So yeah. I miss Christmas Eve. I can't miss New Year's Eve. I can't miss but again, have fun, Val. Have fun, Tim. You guys, man, just enjoy it, man. Enjoy the game. Just be there and enjoy Jim because he's going to be there in spirit. He's going to be all over Ford Field on Sunday. So, again, thank you to Dr. Detroit. So, time for final thoughts for today's show. Mike, what you got?
I think this is going to be a good game for the Lions on Sunday. I think we beat the living hell out of the Chicago Bears. We need it really bad after an embarrassing loss to the Carolina Panthers. If you're a veteran out there, I want to say thank you for your service. Talked to a couple of veterans yesterday, and it was really delightful. Thank you so much. Again, like you always say, Curt, Vietnam veterans as well. You didn't get the love that you deserved, and we do appreciate you 100%.
Yeah, definitely. What you got, Maniac Tim?
Okay, it's time to take charge and stand up and show who you really are, the Detroit Lions. We have seen an up and down season. You guys did fall short of my prediction as far as for 10 wins or better. But let's finish out this game or this season on a winning note and go Lions. Let's win. And also, thank you, veterans. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Val, what you got, man? I know you're going to have a blast.
Yeah, I've got a lot to say in my final thoughts here. I do want to concur with Curt in saying a big thank you and how grateful I am to Dr. Detroit for making this experience happen. This is a tremendous moment, not only for me or Tim or the family, but also for the entire Prowl Nation family, because this is a very historic moment, for us to be able to honor the founder of this channel, and me to be able to represent them. This is a huge history with me and Jim ourselves. We were we treated rivalry games like Super Bowls. So I will be coming to Ford Field in both Lions and Bears gear. And before you shoot me about that one, I'm representing Jim, who can't be there, with the Lions gear and the Bears gear as for myself, with Jim and with some of the remains of Jim in a memorial necklace. I like to think I'm bringing his middle finger at the Bears against, but it is what it is. The girl, his daughters will be there as well. I mean, it's a first game day ever experience for me, for Vince, I believe, and for the girls. So I'll take lots of pictures. I won't have Wi-Fi. I'll share everything on social media across the platforms after I get home. But Tim will be probably sharing things. So make sure you follow Timothy Becker on social media. We may even go live. And so in the game. So watch out for us. And I think Lady Lionor and I'm going to make it something special for the Proud Nation family, because I'm going to have a New Year's Eve party here on this channel tomorrow night. And just you guys can hang out with me. Lady Lionor will join. If any other wants to join, you're more than welcome. But we're just going to kick off the end of the year and getting ready for this game. And then when I come back from the game, we're going to have Lady Lionor and I will be game recapping. And then I may even make a surprise visit at 5:00 in the morning the next day to pop up on on the Lunchtime Detroit. So you guys I thank you guys so much, all of you in Proud Nation, for supporting this channel, for riding with us through, even after Jim has left us. We couldn't do this without you. And I hope you have a very happy New Year.
Yeah, definitely. For me, Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh yeah.
One thing I would say, that I said this yesterday, and it goes for me and anyone else. Don't wait for a new year to be a new you. You can do it any day of the week, any day of the month, any hour of the day. A new year doesn't have to mean new you. You can do it whenever you need to, and it takes putting in the work. So if you're going to do it, pick any day of the week. You can do it today, but you have to put in the work. It's not just about saying it, it's about being it. So it's about that action, boss. So if you're going to make a change in your life, go ahead and make a change today, and don't wait until 2 days from now or 3 days from now when it's the new year. And I want to give a special shout out to Luke G for to make sure he watched the Michigan Wolverines tomorrow night in the college football playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Luke G, what's your bottom line for today?
It's gonna be nice to see them win.
Listen, this is crazy to people. I still root for Michigan everything when they play anybody but Michigan State.
Okay.
If Michigan go against Alabama, I'm rooting Michigan. I want this state to have notoriety and respect.
Yep. Good job.
The audacity, man. It's
I love you, man.
me.
Luke, man, you never know. But I know you got something special for us, man. Kick us out right for this last show of the 2022 Free for All Fridays.
Hey, shout out to everybody who came up in the building. I hope everybody has had a wonderful time with this. This has been a joy for me. Today's positive quote comes from me. It's a very simple one. What you practice is what you get. What you practice is what you get. And some of you have some shoddy practices. If you practice being a good cook, you'll be a good cook. If you practice being a good husband or a good friend, you'll be a good husband or a good friend. If you practice being a terrible person, you'll be a terrible person. But what I want you to do is take a second to think about your practices and what you're practicing on. Because in 2022, you've had some moments where you could have practiced some things a little bit different. And you somehow failed to determine that that was not the road to go down. I urge you to prepare yourself, because in 2023, our practices must change. We must be better at being good people. We must be better at being good friends. We must be better at our own self-awareness and our own self-help. We must be better with our mentalities and our mental state and health. We must be better at just being human beings. See, there's a theme that comes around too often that reminds us that we are not meant to be here forever, and that's the thing called death. Do not wait till you get to that road to determine that you need to be better. Don't get to a point where you feel like, hey, I've done enough, because when you think you've done enough, then you've done enough. And that's enough for you to get to the destination you've been. Your practices need to be better. Practice on building up your spirit. Practice on building up your health. Practice on building up your finances. Practice on building up your dreams. You see, the what you practice is what you get. And if you want to get the best in life, I suggest you start to practice them now and don't wait till later. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, join the family. And if you don't do nothing else, don't be no chump. Please do y'all research.
Hey, thank you guys. Have a very, very happy new year, man. And we will see you guys in 2023. You know what you got to do for your voice, Curt, Steele, and the panel. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For the panel, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.
Amen.